Uh, I think we are at Swarna. What he told me that it is line 6.
Okay.
Yes, Shekharji, we did up to Kumkum Priya last time.
Okay.
Yeah. So now Shantir Bahu Swarna.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next nama is Kshantihi.
Shanti. Hmm.
Now, Kshantihi is to be noted is slightly different from Shantihi.
Yeah.
When we
Shanti.
say Shanti with the Shakara,
Hmm.
it means to quell or to bring things back to normalcy. Okay, comes from the dhatu sham or shamanam. Sham means to, in sense, if there are any disturbances to the state of its natural state of being, those disturbances gets removed and sorry, those gets removed and things fall back to their normal state of affairs. Now, when we normally chant Shantihi thrice at the end of normally any prayer or any congregation, we are praying to Devi to bring to rest anything which disturbs us at three levels: the Adhyatmika, the Adhidaivika, and the Adibhautika. The Adibhautika disturbances are caused by other living beings. It can be humans, it could be other creatures. So, any such disturbances, no, the prayer is to ward away those disturbances. Then we have Adi Daivika, the natural calamities, no, such as floods, droughts, etc. And Adhyatmika are the uh, the mental oscillations, you know, anything that disturbs the mind. So to bring these three to rest, we chant Shanti Shabda three times. Now here the nama is Kshanti with the Kshakara.
Hmm.
Kshanti means forbearance. Kshanti means forbearance. Devi is the epitome of forbearance. So she is called as Shanti. So why do we call Devi as epitome of forbearance? At the level of her being the mother of the creation, Lokamata. Since the entire creation is her own and she is the universal mother, she forbears, she forgives all the mistakes that the children in her creation commit, which is a natural, quality of being a mother. That is why there is one very famous hymn which says that you may come across sons or daughters who may not be true to their parents, but we will never come across a mother, who is not or who doesn't have or who is not worthy. Kuputro jayeta
Kumata. We can
kvachit api kumata na bhavati.
Kumata. Yes.
So because she is Jaganmata, she is Shri Mata, so she becomes the epitome of Shanti, forbearance. Now this is the the normal understanding of the term. From the Adhyatma point of view, if we have to understand this term, Shantihi is being unperturbed by the changes. Now, Chitvastu, the pure consciousness, which is the substratum on which the entire divine play of manifestation takes place, does not undergo any modification during this entire play. So, even the imagery that we come across in texts like Pratyabhijnana and many other places where the Chit is compared or Shiva is compared as a canvas, okay, on which the entire world, okay, is projected. We have to understand the imagery only to that level, okay? Because normally what happens is when you paint something on the canvas, the layer of the paint which is added on the canvas, okay, we don't see the canvas which is the substratum for the painting. To that extent, we have to understand that metaphor. Okay, so one who is the unchanging principle behind this entire divine Leela. So she is Shanti. The next nama is Bahusuvarnata. One who bestows lot of gold. Sorry, no, not da, right? It is only Bahusuvarna.
Yes, Bahu Suvarna.
Bahusuvarna. Sorry. So Bahusuvarna. One who has extremely polished golden luster. This is one way of interpreting this nama. Bahu Suvarna. Golden complexion, which is extremely shining. Or Bahu, many, Su, good, Varna, colors. Okay? So one who is of variegated colors. One who is of variegated colors. What is variegated color? It is called as Chitra Varna. Okay, it is called as Chitra Varna. Say any painting that you would have seen, it is not just a single color, it's multiple colors coexisting in certain proportions, okay, adding to the beauty of this entire creation. So we call it as a Chitra Varna. The individual colors have individual names. Say, for example, Pita means yellow, Rakta means red, Krishna means black. But if you have multiple colors, then it is Chitra Varna. So Bahusu Varna means one who is of variegated colors. Right? Now, we call her as golden in complexion. In the most famous Kena Upanishad reference, we have Uma Haimavati, who appears finally to show to all the devas the true source of their powers. It's a beautiful story. The devas were all proud after they had inflicted a crushing defeat on the asuras. So each one was was boasting about his prowess, how he performed in the war. Then suddenly there appears a yaksha, a shining being, and he drops a blade of grass, and he challenges each devas to change the form of the grass. Say, for example, he first challenges Agni, tells him, can you burn this grass? Agni Deva goes, tries, comes back defeated. Then he tells Vayu to blow it away. The Vayu also is unable to do it. So all the devas try their luck. Finally, Indra goes and realizes that this is no ordinary being. This is not some no some celestial. Then the Yaksha reveals the source of the true power and transforms into Devi, who is referred to as Uma Haimavati. Uma, the daughter of Himavan. She appears as brilliant golden complexion. There are multiple mantras in the Veda which refers to Devi as of being golden in complexion. The most popular verse is the Shri Sukta. And the opening of the Shri Sukta is Hiranyavarnam Harinim Suvarna Rajatasrajam. Hiranyavarnam, one who is of golden complexion. So, Bahu Suvarna, she is of golden complexion. Variegated colors, because at times she assumes different colors. There are certain forms of Devi which are greenish in complexion. For example, Durga Devi. In certain
Tara Devi also.
Tara is also, there is
Green.
a green version of the Tara. That is mostly Buddhist version of the Tara.
Yeah, Buddhist version. Yeah.
Buddhist version of Tara.
Tara.
So dark in complexion, white in complexion. Mahagauri is white in complexion. So multiple colors. Okay, so she is Bahu Suvarna. But from the Adhyatma point of view, what does this multiple colors mean? The word Varna, which is used for color, when we etymologically consider its meaning, it means that which describes. Varnyate iti varna. So that which describes is varna. And it is for this reason that the word varna is also used for letters or sounds. Okay? The alphabets, if we want to call it. They are also referred by the word varna. Okay, because they are the basic component, okay, of language used for description.
Sorry, Shekharji. So these varnas have peculiar colors also. Do you mean to say that?
Yes, but that is not the intention here.
Mm-hmm.
The intention is description. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is description as per the Trika? Description as per the Trika is a label, okay, on the pure consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It is a label on pure consciousness, or it is the Vikalpa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the origin of Bahutva, the multitude, happens when we superimpose these labels and start believing these labels to be true. The Vikalpas to be true. So the idea of labels, okay, happens at the start of the Srishti itself. Okay, at the time of the entire creation, the first form of creation is to add labels, give rise to thoughts, thoughts gives rise to objects. So they are called as varna. And there exist multiple such vikalpas, multiple such varnas. Therefore, she is the substratum of all these vikalpas. So, Bahu Suvarna. Okay, she is Bahu Suvarna. She is the substratum of all these labels. Okay. Then we have the next Nama.
Rati.
Ratihi.
Rati. Mm. Yeah.
Rati, one who is attached, or one who delights.
Mhm.
Okay? One who delights. Let us take the second meaning here, which is more apt. Ratihi. For all of us, we think that the source of pleasure is the object, okay, which triggers pleasure in any experience or in any cognition. Say, for example, we have put something very delicious in our mouth, or we have seen something which is very, very attractive, or hear something which is very pleasant. And we think that it is these objects which are the source of the pleasure. Whereas, when we inquire deeply, we will understand that these objects are mere triggers of experiencing the inner joy. The joy is within. These objects becomes the trigger. But we tend to misalign the two. So we we tend to change. We think that the object is giving pleasure. A very simple experiment to show that it is not the case. Say, for example, some any of us, say myself, my favorite sweet is, let's say, laddu. The moment I have an extreme craving for laddu, and someone brings a box of laddus. I eat the first piece of laddu. I'm so happy. It's done perfect. Then someone serves me the second. No, it's out of the world experience for me. Third, fourth, by the time you have reached the fifth laddu, you had enough of it. Okay? You have had enough of it. The same thing goes for any other thing also. You are unable to enjoy the same objects in the same intensity as you had done at the first instance. So if object were to be the cause of pleasure, you should be having the same joy as you were in the fifth laddu as you were having the first laddu. That's not the case. So the source of ananda or delight is from within. These are mere triggers. So that is why in Vijnana Bhairava, out of the multiple means of dharanas, there is one dharana which says, try to fix your focus in any act of intense emotion. It could be both positive as well as then it's easy for us to do it in a positive emotion, enjoyment of any kind. Fix your attention. Observe what is the source of the enjoyment. You'll ultimately know that it is not outside, but it is the joy which springs from within. So Ratihi, one who delights not because there is nothing external to her, but if we were to identify ourselves with Devi, one who delights in herself. There is one beautiful term used in Sanskrit, Atma Ramaha. Atma Rama means one who delights in himself. He does not require anything. He does not require anything else to make himself happy. He is just happy without even any other external. So this is the true manifestation or understanding of the delight being within and not outside. So she is that Rati. Then we have the Nama
Bahu
Bahusu.
Suvarnda.
So one who bestows. So Bahusuvarna, Bahusuvarnada.
Mm.
Okay. So she is the substratum for the labels, and she is also making us believe that the labels are true. That is why we are believing in not the current experience as it is, but we are believing in the experience based on our previous some experience. Say, for example, I have had some very bad uh, um, experience dealing with a person, let's say a florist. Okay. So something happened in the past that has made me look at that person with every time I interact or I happen to meet or thing, I do it with a sense of resentment. Okay. Now, something happened in the past, but it is affecting my present interaction with him. My present interaction may not have anything unpleasant. It would have been a normal transaction. Yet, my past experience is coloring the way I am experiencing my present also. So, we are always looking at our experiences through the filters of our past, our vasanas, our samskaras. And these vasanas and these samskaras are part and parcel of the Leela to keep the universe, okay, as it is. That is why the moment we realize what our Shaktis are, then the same Shakti which is deluding us will help us in overcoming the delusion. So Acharya Kshamaraja has one sutra in Pratyabhijna Hridaya wherein he says, Swashaktibihi vyamohitata samsaritvam. When we are confused about the nature of our Shaktis, when we do not recognize the nature of the Shaktis, then the Shaktis themselves become delusory. The moment we realize, they help us in overcoming the delusion. So she is the one who is acting out as both. Okay? The power of moha and the power of nirmoha also. So that is why in the Aghora mantra, there are three Shaktis which are spoken about. The Ghora, the Ghoratara, and the Aghora Shakti. Okay? So the Aghora Shakti is the aspect which liberates, which gives us the sense of unity experience. Okay? Whereas the Ghora Tara Shaktis are the ones which delude us. Okay? So the same Ghora Tara Shakti, okay, becomes the Aghora Shakti. Okay? So that is part of the mantra. Okay? The Aghora mantra or the Bahurupa Garbha shloka explains that very beautifully. So she is Bahu Suvarnada, one who is responsible for giving us the labels. Normally, this Nama also means one who bestows wealth or gold, okay, upon the devotees who pray to. Right. Then we have the next Nama,
Matangini.
Matangini. Matangini, one who was adopted as a daughter by Rishi Matanga. So she was called as Matangi. Okay, she was called as Matangi.
Tangi. Mm.
So Matangi, Matangini, they have the same implication. Now Matanga um, also means an elephant in Sanskrit.
Mhm.
Okay, Matanga means elephant.
Elephant.
So Matangini, if we look at it from another point of view, can also or would also mean one who rides on an elephant.
Mhm.
One who rides on an elephant.
Elephant.
So here, okay, Matangini, either she is the daughter of Matanga, so that is one way of looking at it. If we say one who rides an elephant, normally one who rides an elephant is someone who has a say, okay, in the power hierarchy. Okay, it should be a king or a minister or someone very powerful. Only then one can ride an elephant. So it is a status of or a symbol of power. Okay. So Matangini, one who rides, means one who enjoys the power. Now there is a Devata by name Rajashyamala, who is the prime minister of Lalita Tripura Sundari. So she is given the responsibility of taking care of this entire Srishti by Lalita Tripura Sundari. So just as the kings normally, okay, when in absentia, what they would do is they will appoint someone, okay, to carry out their function. And in the olden times, the practice was that the king will hand over his, the signet ring, which is called as a mudra, okay, which will be used to stamp important documents and kind of things. So that mudra was given to Rajashamla. Okay, so she's called as Mudrini. So Rajashamla is also known by another name, Raja Matangi. So one who enjoys the power of taking care of this entire cosmos. So she is Matangini. So this is the normal understanding of the term. From the Adhyatma point of view, Matanga, okay, what Matam, okay, which moves based on certain thoughts. Okay, Mata means opinion, right?
Mhm.
It's a very common term that we use.
Mata.
Okay,
Mm.
Mata. Okay, Mata means an opinion.
Opinion.
Okay, so one whose actions are dictated, one whose actions um, are led by certain opinions.
Mhm.
Matanga. Okay, one who is led by the opinions.
Opinions.
Matanga. The same in the feminine form is called as Matangini.
Matangini.
Okay, so we were just seeing in the previous Nama, it's an extension of that idea
Mm.
that in the state of Pashu, all of us are leading our lives, taking our past experience as our guides.
Mm.
Okay. So the whole process of the sadhana is to get rid
Mm.
of these vasanas or the samskaras.
Mm.
And it is for this reason that in the course of sadhana, certain practices such as the japa, puja, and all the others, dharana, dhyana, they are all prescribed. See, ultimately, all these also have to be given up.
Mm.
But it is like the soap which is used to remove the dirt. Finally, you will wash off both the soap as well as the dirt from the clothes.
Mm.
You don't want either of them at the end. Similarly, these are called as the Shuddha Vikalpas. What we are carrying with us as a burden of our past are the Ashuddha Vikalpas. For removing Ashuddha Vikalpas, the sadhana becomes a Shuddha Vikalpa. Finally, this also is given up so that we are or we reach a state of absolute non-dual experience.
Mm.
Okay? So,
Yes.
Matangini refers to that aspect of Devi which leads a Pashu, okay, based on his
Opinion.
previous opinions,
Yeah.
his vasanas or the vikalpas,
Mm.
samskaras. Okay. How should one uh, change the course of his life then? This is where the grace of Shiva comes in by giving him a conviction which is required for him to um, hold all that he held before to be precious. Okay. And reach a state of thought wherein he will hold his spiritual enlightenment to be the most important thing to be sought after. The others can go on,
Mm.
but the kind of importance that was once given in their pursuit will be will be given up by the person. So the next nama says Vararoha.
Vararoha.
Okay, Vara Aroha.
Mm.
See, normally the word Vararoha, one who is seated on something which is good. Vara Aroha.
Mm.
Vara is that which is the best.
Mm.
That is why it is the word which is used for boon. When we seek a boon from a devata, it is called as Vara.
Mm.
Okay? Or whatever devata bestows upon us is called as a Vara for two reasons. One, it is sought by the devotee. Therefore, it is Vara. Okay? But if you don't, then what the deity bestows on you is what is the best for you.
Mm.
Therefore, it is Vara. So, Vara Aroha. Okay, normal understanding. She is seated on the best asana. It can be Padmasana, whatever is the asana. Okay. But from the Adhyatma point of view, one who makes the sadhaka realize the true value of the Adhyatma or the spiritual thinking. See, there is a very beautiful conversation described in Kathopanishad between Yama and Nachiketas. Nachiketas was a small boy, okay, who was observing his father perform a Vishwajit Yajna. He saw his father giving away in the Yajna for Dakshina all the old and no useless cattle. So he was perturbed. He knew that he should not be, his father should not be doing that. Because for Dakshina, you don't give that which is useless. You have to give the best. Okay. So he wanted to remind this to his father. So he goes and asks his father, okay, since this is a yajna wherein you have to give up everything, to whom will you give me? Now, this was meant as a hint, but the father was irritated when he asked him twice or thrice. Father was irritated. He says, I give you to Yama. Now, there was a tapasya bala in the boy. He reached directly to the gates of Yama, waited there. Since he had reached there, Yama was not there in the place. For 3 nights, he had to wait outside. So, in order to compensate, Yama gives 3 boons. So, with the first boon, he asks for calm and quietude for his father. He should not be worried, kind of thing. Second boon, he asks for the knowledge of karma. Okay, so he is then given the the knowledge of one yajna. Okay, after asking these 2 boons, then the third boon. Okay, so Yama says, ask me for the third boon. So Nachiketa says, ye ye prete vichikitsa manushye astityeke nayamastiti cha eke etad vidyam anusishtastvayaham varanamesha varastritiya. He says, see, some people say that there is something after the death. Some people say, no, no, there is nothing. So we are talking about the atheist and materialists in the time of Upanishads who believe that there is nothing after the death. So asti iti cha eke, nasti iti cha eke. Someone said there is something after the death. Someone says that there is nothing after the death. So I wish to know from you the reality of what happens after death. Yama is not ready to speak about it because then he has to unravel the nature of Atma. He has to give him the Atma Gyan. Okay. So he tries to dissuade the boy. He says, look, boy, you are very small. You're just 8 years old. Devairatrapi vichikitsitam pura. Even the great devas, they have thought about it earlier. Nahi suvijneyam anuresha dharma. It is not so easy to understand. It's very it's a very subtle concept. Anyam varam nachiketo vrinishva mamo paratsiriti masrijainam. He says, oh Nachiketas, why don't you ask for some other boon? And he even hints what other boon he can ask for. He says, Shatayusha, Putra Potran Vinishwa, okay, Bahun Pashun, ask for a lot of um, cows, Hasti Hiranyamashwana, ask for Hasti, elephants, Hiranya, gold, Ashwa, and all this, whatever you want, you ask. Nachiketas is smart. He says, look, if you are exchanging this boon with this, then I know that what I have asked is more precious than all that you are giving me put together. Okay. So he says, look, hey Mrityo, yasmin nidam, okay, vichikatsanti. If great people have thought about it, yatsamparaye mahati bruhi nastato, then it is your duty to tell me that. Okay. Yoyam varaha gudham anupravishtaha nanyam tasmat nachiketa vrinite. So this Nachiketas does not ask for any other than the Atmajnana. So knowing oneself is considered to be the vara, the salient, the important, the best thing. So when we are calling Devi as Vara Aroha, she is the presiding deity of Atma Vidya or Brahma Vidya. So instead of asking her Atma Vidya or Brahma Vidya, if we seek some petty things from her, then we can imagine our foolishness. So Vara Aroha, Vara, the best. Okay, the best is knowing about oneself. and she is seated on that, in the sense that she is presiding over that Vidya. Therefore, very beautifully in the Lalita Sahasranama, we have three names which comes one after the other. Okay, Atma Vidya, Mahavidya, Shri Vidya, Kama Pujita. All right. So Atma Vidya. So this Vidya is presided by her. So she is Vara Aroha. Okay. We'll stop here and we will continue the next session when others are also here.
Yes.
Thank you, Mahodaya.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shekharji. Beautifully explained everything. Yeah, really, really. Thank you. Thank you. Very
Okay, we can
nice.
stop the recording, son. Let
Yes.
us see. Hello. What's up? Hello. Hello.
We can leave and then it will just
You can leave.
automatically.
We will
Yes.
do it. Okay. Okay. Namaskar.